Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon and today I am back with my August bookish chat / catch up video where I tell you about what's been going on, what is going on and what is coming up, and then in the comments down below you can let me know what's been going on for you, what is going on for you and what's coming up for you, and that would be lovely. I also at this point always remind you, although I invariably forget and have a cold cup of tea waiting for me at the end, that you can go and make yourself a drink and come back because we could be sat here for a little while, and hopefully these videos do feel like a chat. Now I've got my naked lady mug out, so things must be serious, and they are kind of serious-ish in the fact that the main subject matter that I'm going to be going through is book funks and booktube breaks, because I have decided that after this video I am going to be having a break from booktube, not for very long, probably just a fortnight until the beginning of September, but because I've been travelling so much for the last few months, as you can see, there's books here, there and everywhere. There's books on the table, the book trolley's out of control, and I always say actually that the library and the state of the library is very similar to the state of my brain, and that is true, because in the last 5 weeks, although I think I've been home for 4 days in the last 5 weeks, I've not actually had a day off until yesterday when I was in the wonderful Shibden Hall, which is where Anne Lister, or Gentleman Jack as she was known, lived, and it was just so lovely to be in like an old stately home and just have a day pottering around, not really filming very much. I nearly filmed a video for my patrons there, but Chris was like, just have a break for a day. And when we were talking, I was like, when did I last have a day off? And so even though like I don't think of booktube as being work, I think it is a hobby, but this reminded me when I was having this chat with Chris that it is a hobby and I need to remember that, and sometimes I can have some time off and that's fine. And actually I think next year what I might do is follow in the footsteps of good old Lauren and the books and maybe have a month off at some point, because I don't think I've had that much time off in the last 5 years, to be honest, since I started booktube. And whilst it is a hobby and therefore isn't like work, and so time off sounds a bit grand, I think sometimes you just need a bit of a break and to sort of breathe and think about things. And I like a little bit of a life audit every so often, and that is what I'm sort of going to plan to do over the next week while I'm still at home, even though I'll be working from home, before I then go off on my travels again, because it's going to be, I thought things were going to calm down in October. Not the case. The new job that I've got, which I can't talk about until October sadly, or tell you too much about, is going to involve a lot of travel in October and November, and next summer I'm going to be away from home for 3 months, which has also made me kind of think about everything a little bit and how, you know, what I need to put first and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a break. I was going to do vlogs in between, but I think I actually need to just stop for a little bit. That said, you will still be able to see me in 2 places. One, if you're one of my patrons, I'll still be making content for Patreon. Excuse me. 2, you can go to the Sky Arts Book Club Facebook group where I'm doing a weekly sort of solo show, which is like, well, I'm calling it Book Club Extra, and it's kind of like Big Brother's Little Brother, or what's the other thing they called it? Big Brother's something else. Excuse me, I've had a Coca-Cola and I've gone wild. I'm living on Coca-Cola at the moment, which is not very good for me, but don't tell me all about that in the comments down below. When I last mentioned licorice all sorts, now I was loving licorice all sorts, suddenly there were health warnings galore in the comments. And that was another thing, actually, speaking about comments, there's 2 reasons that I decided that I wanted to have a bit of a booktube break. And one is the fact that I have not been able to comment back as much as I would like, and I think that's really, really important to comment where you can. But also, I've had a few comments which, whilst I put things out on the internet, so I should expect to get comments back, sometimes I do just sit there and think, this is a free thing that I do. Nobody's paying for this content. And yet sometimes the the comments are a little bit like I'm providing some kind of paid for service. So I've had comments recently telling me that I talk about my work too much. I've had comments recently telling me that I need to get a haircut. I've had comments recently telling me that I interrupt my mother too much and that I whittle on too much and I need to sort that out because it's making people skip. And I'm just like, that's fine, you can skip all the videos if you like, I literally don't mind. It's lovely if you stay and watch, but yeah, so I'm not going to say it's knocked my confidence, because it kind of hasn't, because I am very much like, if you put things out on the internet, sadly it shouldn't be that you should expect people to comment back, but sadly it's an inevitable thing, and that's probably maybe a whole different video. But yeah, so the other reason I thought I would have a bit of a break is because I am in quite a big book funk. And I don't know if that's because I've been travelling around a lot and I felt a little bit discombobulated, but I love travelling at the same time. But also, like, I've just been thinking I'm not reading as much as I normally would, so therefore reading vlogs don't seem to be quite so, well, they're not reading vlogs if you only read no books or one book or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong on one book, is fine, let me know in the comments down below, because then I'll possibly take a little bit of pressure off me that I've put on myself. None of you have put this pressure on me, it's all me. And also, I don't need any sympathy, as lovely as it is that you are empathetic and sympathetic, but like, I'm fine, I just need a bit of a break. Yeah, book funks have been in full force, and I felt really bad because the last week has been summer book hibernation, and I haven't spoken to Mum about this yet, but I don't think we're going to do a live tomorrow because I have epically failed at summer book hibernation, which, when you're one of the hosts, makes you feel rubbish, even though it shouldn't, because it's meant to be fun and nobody else has made me feel like that. It's me. But yeah, I haven't finished the group read, which was the short stories by Bolu Babalola, partly because I don't love it as much as I thought I would, and so it's been a bit more of a, not a chore to get through, but you know what I mean. And also because, like I said, I've just been very book funky. And also, actually, one positive was me and Mum were staying together in Bath last week, but because we hadn't seen each other for ages, and because we were off going on like bookshop crawls and we were off having dinners and we just didn't really read. So both of us were a bit like, and I was thinking, with autumn book hibernation, maybe we should do it when we're going to be meeting up again and going on holiday with my stepdad and Chris, and that we could do that, because maybe at the end of it. But yeah, we'll see. We will see, because it's lovely for us to film together, apart from when people tell me off for interrupting my mother and waffling on too many tangents. But it also kind of saying, oh, we're going to read that weekend. We just don't read as much because we want to have a chat and natter about books and all sorts. I also think, actually, one of the reasons I might be in a book funk is because I have been talking about books more than normal, which is quite a lot anyway, but it feels like I've gone like extra. And also because work is so focused around books at the moment, and also like with my project with BBC Novels That Shaped Our World, that's coming towards an end, and I've got some quite big things to do over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I think maybe my brain is a little bit booked out, and so that's why, like, I'm finding that when I'm not doing stuff, I'm sort of zoning out and enjoying Real Housewives of wherever, whichever franchise it is that I'm watching. And actually, I have to say, one of the things that I noticed when I was recording a vlog that probably won't be on the channel now last week, was that I was putting pressure on myself to read more for the channel. And I've always said it should never be like that. The channel should be about what you read. You shouldn't be reading for the channel that you're creating, if that makes sense. And that was happening. And yeah, book funks happen. They need to happen. I think it's a good thing for us. I know it's horrible when it happens. But if you've got any tips, I know Jen Campbell's done a video recently on tips to get out of book funk, and I haven't watched it yet, but I will. But if you've got any tips, please let me know in the comments down below. My tips, if you're asking, are generally to stop reading, do something else, watch a lot of TV, listen to a lot of music. But also, one thing that I really want to do is like watch a bit of YouTube and just sort of stop creating and just get back into sort of relaxing and watching with, and then hopefully feeling more rejuvenated for September. I think it's going to be September that I come back, because I've got a planned video for another TBR game, which, have I left my TBR game downstairs? Because I wanted to talk to you all about that. Hang on, I'll have to get it in a second, because it's not all doom and gloom. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm planning on creating a TBR game for this channel based around, and this came all the way from America, Simon Swipe, the card game, which is a little bit like Uno, which is what I was thinking of basing my TBR game on, but actually is a little bit different, and then of course has the word Simon in it. So yeah, I had to have it. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but you can see there's lots of different cards. I'm going to work out how I can equate those, lots of different coloured cards, and how I can equate the different segments to different shelves and all that kind of stuff. That said, I really need to have a massive sort out of this library, and I was going to film it, and lots of people, when I mentioned it on Instagram, said please film it, but I think I need to just get it done. because as I said, there's piles of books here, there's piles of books down there, piles of books there, there's piles of books down there, there's a whole trolley here of books, there's the piles on the table and the trolleys there, and then you can't see, but there's loads down the side of that shelf. So yeah, or not even that shelf, sorry, that shelf, there. So yeah, that all needs a good sort, and I think I just need to do it and sort of come back in September refreshed. Like I said, I'm at home for a little bit this week, and then I start travelling again, and then I'm at home for the last few days of August and the first few days of September before then it all kicks off again. So that's what I'm planning, because I was going to sit and record enough videos for the next 2 weeks before I'm home again, but then I just thought I need a bit of a breather, and also I don't think content is as fun when it feels forced. And the other thing I'd like to do actually, especially as we go forward into next year, when I've mentioned I'm going to be away a lot, I would like to have quite a few videos like in advance so that I can schedule a bit better, but also not too many that I can't comment back. So I'm just trying to work out how many videos a week is good plus a vlog, and I think it's probably gonna be 2 videos a week plus a vlog. That's what I'm gonna go for. I was like, oh, how am I gonna fit like 2 wrap-ups in a month, or 1 wrap-up at all, because frankly I haven't done wrap-ups for ages, and all those kind of things. I thought, stop, just chill. That's what you need to do, chill. What I need to do though is properly stop for a little bit and chill, and then come back chilled. But like I said, you will be able to see me in other places, and I'm going to mention Sky Arts Book Club again. I know some people will probably be eye rolling, but the books that we're reading this month are The Remains of the Day by Kazu Ishiguro, which I haven't started yet, Adam Buxton's Ramble book, which I'm listening to on audio and enjoying very much. It's made me laugh quite a few times, and also Simon Mears The Khan. This is the other reason I want to have a break, because my head is so full. I need to literally, I haven't even talked about this, I've got to get my passion planner out this week and literally plan September and October and November, because I think I might have double and even possibly triple booked myself for some dates in those months, because I've got lots of brilliant events and things coming up which I can't talk about yet, but I'll be able to tell you about when I'm back in September, and they'll be exciting and lovely. Also, the Women's Prize is at the beginning of September, and me and Mum have already pre-recorded our Women's Prize thoughts, so that's one that I've got in the can. But I would just like to have a few others that are scheduled for if I'm having a day where I don't feel like filming, or if I just don't have time, and then it just takes that little bit of pressure off what is a hobby and fun. And I've always said if something doesn't feel fun, that I won't do it. And I'm not saying that the booktube isn't fun at the moment, but it's not as much fun as I would like, and I don't think I'm as much fun as I would like. And it's just a little bit of self-awareness and self-auditing that's going on at the moment, including sorting out my blinking diary. So yeah, now, as I mentioned, one thing I didn't mention, which I think is great when you're in a book funk, is having books to read by a certain date. And as I mentioned, I have these to read for Sky Arts Book Club, but also mine and Melanie's book club, which is no longer the Sykes and Savage book club, it is the Frank book club. Our next pick is Diary of a Young Naturalist by Dara McAnulty, and we'll be recording this not this week but the week after, but it won't be going live on this channel anymore. We are moving it all over to Frank's YouTube channel, which isn't live yet, but as soon as it is, I'll let you know on all my social medias, so my Instagram, my Twitter, etc., which are always linked down below. And over the next 2 weeks, I will still be doing Twitter. I'll still be twittering. I will still be Instagramming. Yeah, there's those as well. If you've got any suggestions, going back to Simon's one, because I didn't talk about it properly, for what I could do with these cards and the different colours and how I could sort of work that around the bookshelves, please do let me know. I meant to mention that. So I've got those books to read, which will be really, really good to just focus my mind so that I can read them but not feel like I'm having to film. Because also I had some really, really good ideas for themed reading vlogs, but I was like, I just can't do that when I've got more work reading than normal. And I will say, I know some people are like, oh, you know, you're probably just exhausted because you're working with books so much. It isn't that, and I can understand why people might think that, but really at the moment my reading for work is probably about 40% work reading and 60% what I would want to read if I felt like reading, but I don't feel like reading. So therefore I suppose it is more like 100% because I'm reading stuff because I have to for work. And I think that's where book hibernation probably didn't work for me, because I just need a break from reading. I feel like I'm repeating myself. But anyway, so there we go. That's that. It isn't because of work, and it isn't like working in books is going to stop this channel from happening or anything like that. I just think, yeah, I think we all need a break. How many times can I say I think we need a break sometimes? I think we need a break sometimes. I'm not breaking up with you. We're just on a break. We're not. I will still be chatting, like I said, on Instagram and Twitter and everything. So that is what has been going on and what is going on. What is coming up is that I'll be back at the beginning of September. The other thing I like as well about the beginning of September, another tangent while I can, is that it feels like a new school year, like a new academic year. I do love a new year, or like even just a new week, a new month, any excuse for something new where I can start afresh. So what I've decided is to pin that on September and start everything again from then. But yeah, maybe next year I'll choose like a month that I'm going to take off, possibly actually the first month of when I'm away for 3 months' time. I am still going to be vlogging and doing snippets and stuff, because if you're on my Patreon, you'll know that I do a weekly video on one of my tiers where it's like snippets from the week, and then I just catch up about what I'm doing. So there will kind of be a month's worth of vloggage, as it's called in my head, which will include things like the bookshops that I've been to with my mum, going around Shibden Hall, all those things. I'll still do all of that possibly at the end of August, before the 1st of September. That would make sense, wouldn't it? The end of August being before the beginning of September. Anyway, so there's that element too, but that's where we're at. I have, like I said, got some really, really exciting stuff coming up in September, October and November and December actually, but I just need to get all of my ducks in a row, which if you're on my Patreon you'll know I call you my ducks. I need to get all my ducks in a row and just sort of use the next week before I start traveling again to sort of catch up, whilst also doing my 2-day jobs, because I have started my new job. I think I've said this before, I can't tell you what it is until towards the end of October, and then it's going to be very exciting, because I'm going to be able to take you on that journey, and that's going to be a really exciting journey. So there we are. I could waffle on for ages more. I feel like I might have missed something. I don't know what it is, but if you've got anything you'd like to chat with me about in the comments, I will still be checking those and responding. I just won't be creating anything for a little while, which, well, not for here anyway, which I think will be a good thing, because it'll just take a little bit of, well, what I've noticed is when I finish work, I don't even want to read a book, let alone film a video. So that to me, and that's only because I think I've been away so much. When, as you know, when I was shielding and when we were in lockdown and stuff, I was making more content because I needed stuff to fill my time, and now we've gone to the opposite extreme, and I don't know, I feel a bit bad about it. Random waffle aside, I hope you're all well. Let me know in the comments down below how you are, what's been going on, what is going on, what's coming up, any tips on getting out of a book funk, and anything you would like to see when Savage Reads returns in September. I would love to know, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.